How are you, sir?
Good, how are you?
Good, man. Happy
Hey,
to
you
see
know what it is?
What's up?
It's Tuesday.
It is Tuesday.
Yeah. Means I'm on fire.
That means-
what is this? What'd you say?
That means that you bring the fire.
I bring the fire.
So Tuesdays is Gary Day, and
Too hot to handle, too cold to hold.
yeah, he actually plans his diet, exercise, and sleep around Tuesdays because that's his day to be on the podcast and to be live on Zoom for all the student body to see.
That's right.
How you
I'm
feeling
gonna bring it
today?
tonight. You know what? I am on fire. I've had a lot of coffee today. I got a good night's sleep last night. Very unusual for me, but I slept soundly. Woke up and had a lot of energy and had a lot of ideas. So
Good.
Yeah. So
I
I'm
like
here. You know. That's
I
what
like
they
your
say.
hat, man.
Thank you. It's a quarantine hat. I'm sick of my hair and I'm sick of combing it because I got this La Bamba thing going.
Looks good.
So
You gotta embrace it. Look, I mean, look at this. I have a fro, man.
I don't know. It's kind of messy. It's got the messy look. It's got that messy look. For Abel, that's like
This is good?
That's like a messy where like he goes like this and goes, this hair needs to be here. That hair needs to be here. And if it's not messy enough, then he goes like this. And he starts over.
Actually,
I've seen him do it.
Actually, the truth is, I get out of the shower and my hair's still slightly wet. So then I just put like a little.
So here's the big question: you air dry or you wipe down?
A little bit of both. A little bit of both. It just depends on how my day's going and how much time I have.
Yeah. That's all I'm saying. It's just,
I shouldn't even answer those questions. This guy, he
I love
coaxes
it.
me.
He's gonna try to edit this stuff anyway, so I gotta try to get as many as I can in. Yeah. Good night, man. So yeah, and when I wake up and I feel refreshed and rejuvenated, you get all kinds of angles on me. I'm
liking the
scruff.
Yeah, I like
the
it,
scruff.
Yeah. Makes you look wiser.
I am wiser.
Yeah.
Whenever you give me a compliment, I disagree because
It's true.
it is true.
It is true.
See?
It is. I mean it too. I don't just
I mean
say
it too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's new, man? What's happening? What's happened since the last time I saw you?
Well, the last time we got together, we were working on Zoom stuff. We were working on the back room for the podcast. That's still all moving forward.
Nice.
Yeah, we
I saw the room. Looks good. Looks real good. Surprised me when I walked in here. I thought it was going to be done, but Christina said that you're not doing a whole lot while you're here doing it.
We had a total fail. We actually thought we were done with the room. We did this thing where we put stuff up on the walls, and before we left that day, everything fell. So apparently the adhesive and the stuff that we used didn't work.
So a little slap and stick didn't work.
Yeah, so the next 2 days we had to find the actual adhesive that would work for both the wall and the material we were using. It was a big old thing, but we got it figured out, and it's done today.
What do you call a man sitting on the front porch of your house with no arms and no legs?
I don't know.
Matt. Okay. I think I love these.
Apparently the caffeine is kicking in.
I love jokes, so you're gonna.
So caffeine, right?
Caffeine.
And some power drinks. What are they called?
Man! So if I had a can right here, I would do it because I'm like in love with this company. It's called Rain. It's like my favorite like amino acids like pre-workout drink, and it's like
yeah, we don't need him having a pre-workout
flies me to the
drink
moon
before
and
the
back,
podcast.
baby. Yeah. I don't do drugs, don't drink much, but I can drink some caffeine and, that's
Hey, listen, I'm all in for caffeine. No joke. This is probably my fourth container of coffee that I drink.
Yeah, see? And I know you, dude. You're like me. You're zipping through and things are going through your mind and you're like looking over here, looking over there. I know this. This is how I feel too. I got my, tea, and tea has a lot of caffeine.
Hey, listen, man, I'm pulling, an average of 12-hour days, 12 to 14.
He's lying.
You need a little bit of caffeine, man. A little kick.
I talk to Christina often, and she's like, he's not doing anything.
Christina's
right now.
barely even here. She barely even shows up. What is she? You know what I mean? Like, how is she going to know my schedule?
And then Brett, I walked in today, and Brett was like, yeah, he's like on his fifth meal today.
I do eat a lot. I'm like a diesel, man.
Yeah.
I'm just not an efficient diesel. Like, I big intake and not...
See, that's my problem. Yeah, I don't eat like most people. I have a good regimen, and I've still got the bonza just growing on me, man. I can't help it. I don't know what's up with that. It drives me nuts. I watch these back, and I see myself, and I'm like, oh my God, I gotta lose some weight, man.
Have you been watching them?
I have been watching them.
Good.
I tell you no because I don't want you to think that I've been supporting your editing.
Yeah, I asked him. I want actual input, and Gary doesn't give it that freely.
Well, because I told him today, I'm trying to keep this all this stuff that I'm thinking about. And the more I talk, the more I open up, and the more I start talking. Especially to you. So it's like, yeah, man. So. Yeah. So, hey, going along with this, though, this is my first topic. Your daily routine. I'm a big, lately I've been reading, like, The Power of Now. I love this meditation thing. I'm trying to bring myself down a notch and be a little more adult than the preteen that I am. Yeah, so what's your daily routine? Do you... When you wake up, you just said you air dry when you wake up. What else? I mean, what's your day like? So, tell me a day, and is it a routine for you?
So, part of my morning isn't dictated by me and what I would like to be doing. I have two little ones.
I get that.
And it's like it's a natural alarm. They get up so early. Not matter. They don't care what time you went to sleep.
This is true.
They wake up. They're hungry, and one of them needs a diaper change. Right. So, I mentioned in the past that my wife gets up real early, so she's getting ready. She's already answering calls like real early. So I have the morning shift, and so in the morning she helps me out sometimes by shooting a snack to the kids while I get up and all that. But no more than 6 in the morning, they're already someone's jumping on me or saying, "Papi, Papi."
I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I try calling him just to interrupt his morning, just to throw him off a little bit.
I answer when I'm in the vehicle already.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't because it's really hard. Like I'm dressing one,
I'm kind of a jerk that way. I do think of that stuff. So it's like
I really don't. Like I'll call him back as I'm driving, and then I'm all like, okay, I'm driving, so I'm just like talking to him. But mainly, I wake up at like around 6 because the kids are making noise or whatever. So I'll get up. I make sure that they have something to eat. They're like pre-breakfast meal. There's such thing. My kids eat, man.
His kids do eat.
Yeah, so I'll give them like some vegetables or some fruit.
So imagine Abel, and then imagine this little girl who's like a little mini Abel.
She's a diesel, man.
And she's a diesel. She can't stop talking, and she just has a motor that just will not stop. Yeah. Adorable, but I'm like, man, I am so happy I'm an old man and I'm not having any more kids because I couldn't do that.
Oh, no, I'm not having any more kids either.
Yeah, you got 2, though. You got 2 right there.
Yeah.
Right in the prime,
Right in the prime, yeah. I'm not in my prime, but they are. And so, I make sure they have a snack, jump in the shower. I let them know, hey, Papi's going to jump in the shower, and they usually give me the thumbs up. And I jump in the shower. By the time they get out, I pick up their dishes because they're done with that food, and then they ask me for another set of food. So then I give them something a little bit heavier, like an egg or whatever we make.
Are they both in diapers?
No. Jimena is potty trained.
Okay.
But the little guy, man, he
don't look at me.
So one of them is, and not the other one's fine.
If you have kids, you know what that means.
Yeah. And the other one's fine, but as soon as I give them that second snack, I finish getting ready, and then I call Jimena over, change her, get her ready for school or to go to grandma's house, and then the last thing I do is change baby Luca because it's a diaper. So you don't want to change like 3 diapers. It's the last one I do.
So you let your kid sit in his poop for...
Feed the dogs, pick up any mess left behind before I close the front door. Then I'm in the truck. And once I'm in the truck, the kids are ready to go. One of them has a book. One of them usually has a toy. As I'm driving, I'm making phone calls. I'm either calling you, Mr. AJ, Mr. Alex, the team, checking in, or calling the company to make sure that we got shipments or whatever. By the time I drop off the kids and get to the studio, I've already made at least 6 to 10 phone calls.
Nice.
And that really helps in saving time because when I get here, I'm ready to be here as opposed to, all right, guys, I'm here, but now I need to make all these phone calls. Yep.
So, one of the big things that I do in my day is I've tried to create habits. I've this new thing with me is about habits. I think everything is based on habits. It's kind of this new thought, a train of thought for me. And that means that you have to break old habits, man. What's some of the old habits that do you think like that? I do. I think like when I wake up in the morning, like my habit is to get up, get dressed, and I do things in a certain way every morning. And I keep it almost ritually because if I don't, it almost feels like I get up and I start in a bad mood, you know, and I try to keep the same.
So you like your ritual then, your morning ritual?
I purposely do my morning ritual because there's certain things that I've read about that say that you need to do sort of a regimen of things, basic things, not like brush your teeth.
Right.
But if you do them in the exact order, waking up early isn't an impossible thing. It's a thing you just do. Instead of, because I've done it for so long, waking up so early that I'm like, oh, if I could, I'd sit at the edge of my bed just cussing the world out like, what am I getting up? Oh, I got to deal with No, and so part of the ritual, part of the routine is just to say, hey, man, I'm thankful for being up. It's going to be a good day. And I just line up my meds, do that, turn on the coffee maker, have my clothes out from the night before. I even put my clothes on at the same way every time. Yeah? Oh, yeah, dude. It's like a whole thing for me.
You know what? That sounds, to me, that sounds very peaceful. And,
it's peaceful for me.
And it's something that I should strive for. It's difficult because I have the two little ones. My mornings are hectic, man. Like, it's like, I have to be like super dad, like straight up. Like, I'm changing one, feeding the other, but like, and then I'm getting my stuff ready, making sure I don't forget anything. Every time I load my vehicle, like when I leave my house every single day, it's like I'm going camping. Like, I'm packed. Like, my truck, I drive a Suburban, and it's packed with stuff, and it's usually their bags or food, their whatever their needs are, you know? And it's very stressful. Once I get on the road, it's on. I'm just like cruising, and it's just like a stress reliever. I throw some music on. You know, the music I usually listen with my kids while I have them until I drop them off. Then we switch up the music. We've talked about that before.
True story. I've called you while you've been in the car, and I'm a positive guy. We're positive people, but I'm positive in a different nature than he is. My words are different than his words. So I've called him in the car before and been like, "What the F is up, Mr. Abel?" And all of a sudden, hey, Deal Gary, oh man, I just blew that one. Oh, I feel so bad.
Like I said before, it's not the worst thing. You know, whatever. It is what it is. It's coming from the heart, so whatever.
Yeah,
it's cool,
yeah. I just forget you have little ones sometimes, and it's like, and I've been up for like 3 or 4 hours already. So
this is true.
I'm already like,
yeah,
you know, in it with a bunch of grown men.
But it's always well received.
Oh, good. So at least it is, man. At least it is. I've been really good. If anybody can hear, if you go back and you watch this podcast and you can find where I've cussed, I'll buy you a T-shirt. Just saying. Just saying. I'll get you one of our Blackbelt Collective T-shirts. We'll see. That's just gonna prove to me if anybody's actually watching this stuff.
Yeah. Well, so, that and it's gonna prove whether you really are working on it or not.
Hey, this is true. This is true, right? I mean, I think I have been. But you never know, man. I can drop an F-bomb like nobody can, you know? And I don't mean to. And it's just the way of my life, you know, even at my house. It's like I never let my kids cuss, but me and my wife, boy, woo! We can cuss up a storm. And now my boys are older and they cuss a little bit, but they're good boys. Tell me something. And I gotta know, dude, because we gotta get Gloria in here one day.
No, we're good.
And I gotta know what is she like something that she just absolutely can't stand about you. You gotta know it. If you don't know it, you guys haven't been married long enough.
Hey man, we've been together for a very long time.
Because I'll tell you what, see this notebook? This is like all the pet peeves Gabby has on me right there. Yeah, and the other notebook I carry, that's the stuff I can't stand about her either. So.
You know what? I've actually talked to her about this, and her dislike or pet peeve or whatever you want to label it is like when she asks me to do something like, oh, can you fix that, or can you do this or that at the house, specifically at the house, and I say yes, because I never say no. I say yes, but then it probably doesn't get done till like a year later.
That's typical. I think it's just something like we both say we have that ADHD.
Yeah, and it's like it's never my intention to not do something.
So my argument's always like, you promised me, but yeah, you can go do it for Abel, but you can't come over here and finish this for me. That's what happens at my house.
I'll give you an example. Like, okay, so I actually asked her this. I said, hey, so like if you had to pick one thing, like just one thing that you could just, name and that you don't like about me that just totally drives you crazy. She goes, well, I think I'd have to say, like you saying that you're going to do something at the house and then not do it, right?
You guys are still
and
young
then
and
go like what though? Like, I mean, like name something. She goes, well, do you remember I asked you to put up the baby's crib? And I'm like, babe, that was 3 years ago.
Oh, of course, dude.
And I was like,
of course.
I told her, I'll show you the text. I said, babe, you need to go talk to somebody and heal.
Yeah, of course.
It's not good for you to hold that down.
That's all women. That's all women. Fact check this.
And I was like, no. And then she goes, and then the other thing I remember telling you to do is put up those nice lights that we bought for the backyard, and you haven't done that. I was like, babe, that was like 4 years ago. You're holding things from way too long. It's not good for your soul.
Hey, man.
It's poison.
Grudges are poison, man.
And then she laughed, and she's like, yeah.
So I'm helping your marriage out by asking you this question.
We're gonna, like you said, we're gonna get her on. And then she can tell you all the truth about it.
I got a ton of questions. Like, I want to know the real Abel. I don't want to know like the happy-go-lucky Abel. There's a whole other side to this guy, and I'm
Ask Christina. She's here with me all day.
Oh man, the fun part is you said we need to have Brett on, and Brett is gonna come on. I've asked Brett, what's Abel like? Oh, those two have been at it all day. See, it's like I know you.
You know what? I know that I'm not an easy person to be around, but the people that usually are around me are long-lived relationships. Like we'll be friends for a very long time.
Well,
but I don't have a lot of friends.
I think the thing that I have in common with you is I'm the same way. Like I don't have a big core of people. I know a lot of people.
Right.
But my core is like just a few because they get like my humor. They get like the things I do. They understand when I say yes and they really mean no.
Well, all of you guys here that support me so much, I mean, it's. I think that sometimes, like you said last time, you want to kill me, but I think we all understand that it's all of it. Like we all are kind of quirky in our own ways, but it's all love. It's nothing's coming from a bad side of someone or from a negative point. But we do put up with each other, and that's okay. We're family, man.
Yeah, I was driving. It was like last week. I was driving here, and I look over. This little lady was sitting in the car, and I kind of look, just, you glance over, see who's next to you. And she starts digging in her nose. And I'm just like, oh my God. She starts looking at her finger and whatever. And I'm just kind of like, what in the world, man? What are you doing? Have you ever picked your nose in your car?
I'm sure I have. I mean, you probably do that unconsciously.
I hope not, dude. That is disgusting.
I'm sure I have.
She was digging.
Christina, have you dug in your nose? Yes? I know. Everybody does.
She was digging like she lost something. Man.
Yeah?
She was looking for her glasses.
Hey,
she was digging.
Hey, you've never did a little digging?
Yeah, but I get a tissue and like get up there. I might be a real sloppy dude, but sometimes, man, picking my nose is just one of those things that I can fart in front of people and not have a problem. But picking my nose, that's a whole different story.
I don't know, man. I'd probably choose one over the other.
I don't know. That made me. I was like.
Did she see you do that?
I just looked. Yeah, she saw it because I looked at her and I went like this. And she just was like.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
I got caught, man. She was like looking for her baggage at the airport, dude. Can't find it. It was like up to knuckle. Like knuckle. That was just it was disgusting, man. I don't know why I thought of that. I was thinking that right there. So I don't know what I was thinking when I said that, but yeah, every once in a while I get these thoughts. I told Abel to. A lot of times now I'm shutting up and holding my stories in because I got a lot of stories.
If you guys are at home or in your car or wherever you're at listening to this and you think that Gary is shutting up, You definitely don't know him. He will not.
Please.
Tell him why. Tell him why you said that.
Because I share my ideas and I get going and I start talking and I'm into doing this and I want to have stories that, and like I start writing stuff down and like Booger Lady got in my head and then I was like, I got to bring it up right now.
Booger Lady.
Yeah, it was one of those things, It was like my mom. She used to tease us, she'd catch us picking our butt. And she would go like this. She'd be like, hey, are you going to the movies later? And why? Because you're picking your seat. You know what I mean? It's like, that's the type of stuff she would say.
Wait, so you're not okay with picking your nose, but you're okay with picking your seat?
The booty's different, man.
All right.
Well, because you might move a certain way, and the chonies might go, you just got to, pluck it out. Anyways, this is going a whole different direction.
It is.
And it wasn't because of me. It was because of Abel.
Yep. Clock theory. Let's go ahead and step and pivot.
So, every podcast, we want to talk a little bit something about self-defense, something self-defense related. So I was going to ask you, can you name 3 skills in self-defense that you think everybody should know?
Everybody, regardless of background.
Or think that are the necessity for the basics,
That's not difficult. A groin kick, that goes a long way. Shelling, being able to protect your head, and running away. You don't need much to defend yourself. You just need to use your noggin. You need to use your brain. It doesn't matter what size you are. If you kick someone in the groin, that's going to give you maybe a split second or a few seconds to maybe create some space. If you're being attacked already, shelling, and any moment you have that's an opening, throw a groin kick. That'll give you enough time and hopefully enough space to run away, right? You don't need to square up with someone and know a bunch of skills. If you can run away before you even did the shelling or the kicking, run away. Nothing wrong with that.
That's funny you said that because the next question was, is it okay to run? So,
oh, yeah.
So when I'm looking at those 3 things, I'm always looking for I always tell my kids, if you're going to get into it with somebody's mixing it up with you and there's no possible way out of it, hit them in the nose. I don't care if it's a palm strike, I don't care whatever, go for the nose, whether it be anything. Your nose is just like your groin. It's a reflective and it's a reactional thing. Groin kick, I would say, if I got them training a little bit, just to get them used to throwing it. Some people just aren't that skilled enough just to do it. So I'm thinking, when I think about it, I'm thinking somebody right off the street, who do I got? Somebody asked me that question. And, some type of preemptive strike, some type of maybe an elbow, maybe a knee, and maybe a groin kick, but definitely striking to the face.
So we have a kids program here, kids from as early age as 3 years old all the way up. All right. I was holding for, it must have been a 5-year-old kid. And they're kicking the tombstone, right? And they're doing a groin kick, right? Or scoop kick. And as they're doing that, I said time, right? And they didn't quite hear because it gets loud in here, right? And as soon as I moved the tombstone just slightly over to the side, because I was going to just hold it with one hand and stand up straight, boom! They didn't stop. And this is a 5-year-old kid. And
that kid must have had some precision.
It works, man. You don't need a lot of experience. Just put your foot in between those legs.
So that being said, with kids, so having kids, being around a lot of kids, growing up, being an uncle, kids are devastating, man. Kids are stronger than, oh my goodness. I remember
little kids hit hard, man.
Hit you hard, and they're always hitting in the right spot. Always hitting in the right spot, man. Little Gary's come in contact, just whoa, take it easy. My niece or nephew is chill.
You gotta watch the headbutts, man.
Headbutts too.
Everywhere.
Oh man, so my kids used to love to we used to tumble and roll and whatever. I was sitting on the bed one time, and out of nowhere, Shane jumps off of the dresser onto me, but into the wall. Oh my God, we had to go take him to emergency. He was 4. And then I was dad shamed at the emergency.
Yeah. They should have investigated it.
Don't say that, dude. Because I have so many instances where it's like, oh. Just say it.
Baby Luca is learning how to walk right now, and he was holding his cup, and he fell on his knees first, and then his face forward, and the rim of the cup got his cheekbone. He has a nice little shiner right now.
Nice. Sure he did.
Not gonna lie, but he looks pretty cool.
Sure he did. Gloria was fed up with your late nights. We're gonna have to report it. Gloria was fed up with one of your late nights and took it out on Baby Luca. Sorry, Gloria. I had to throw you in the mix on that one.
Yeah, man. The kids are tough, man. You know,
kids are tough. So I mean, that's what I'm saying. Anybody can do self-defense, and if you teach somebody right, it can be very effective.
Absolutely.
Running, man. As an adult who's been in a few fights here and there growing up, I wish now I would have just taken a step back and maybe walked away and maybe ran a couple times instead of just digging in and,
Yeah, but I also understand. I mean, if you sometimes, you grew up in certain areas where, you could run, but sometimes facing the issue head on is what you have to do because there's also other types of social norms. You really have to be aware of what's going on, where you're at, and who you're up against, right? But I could think of a couple times where I was younger and where I was growing up. If I ran later on, it would probably been worse. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say.
No, I totally know what that.
Yeah, and sometimes I had to mix it up growing up, and even I took my licks and all that, but it was better that I did it then than let it fester and grow and turn into something else where it could have been more serious.
Yeah, I mean,
just depends what the scenario is. It
is a scenario thing.
If you ask me today, run all day.
See, I grew up in a house.
I'll happily run.
I grew up in a house where my uncles would put boxing gloves on us. I could not run. They were like, go. They'd bet on us, And so we would go until one of us was absolutely... You cry at first, but then it was almost like you said, you're scared and you don't want to hit your cousin. And then eventually you're just it teaches you to have a switch.
You want to hear a true story?
Sure, let's hear a true story.
Okay, so...
Fake news.
So Gloria and I were driving, and we were turning into a parking lot. We were going to the bank. There wasn't a lot of spaces. If I remember correctly, there was one open space where a lot of vehicles were kind of going towards, because you could see they were circling, right? So people get a little upset or whatever. It was a summer day, so it's hot, no parking. That's enough of a reason.